Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to watch another one of my videos. Well, I had somebody send me a message and ask me to kind of explain where I would fish in different parts of the lake. If I was down the river, or if I was like up in the mid part of the lake, or if I was down closer to the dam. They wanted me to explain kind of where I would start fishing and and kind of why. So let's start down in the river. That river would be my favorite place because I fish a lot of shallow cover, and I like fishing in the river. And it's October, and the nights and days are getting cooler, and this'll do October and November both, really. So down in the river, first thing in the morning, I would have a True Faith custom bait buzz bait picked up and covering some water, throwing down lay down, stumps, rocks, riprap, bluff ends, slides from the bluff where had a big rock slide or something, fishing around those, any bridge pilings, around the points of any bridges, and on shallow flat points, especially if they've got buckbrush or brush piles or lay downs or something on them. I'd just be covering water with a buzz bait, and if I found a concentration of fish, if I got 2 or 3 bites pretty quick, I'd fish that area with the buzz bait. Then I'd turn around and go back to where I started that area, or started catching the fish, and I would have a jig, or I would have a Texas rig, some kind of Texas rig plastic, or I'd have a big bite fighting frog on a wobble head. Have something like that tied on so I could pick apart whatever cover I was fishing on. You go back through like that, you use the faster moving bait, and then you go back through and pick up a few more fish that wasn't aggressive enough to hit that moving bait, and you can go back through and pick them up. Just work it thoroughly with the plastic or the jig, and you come up to a lay down or a stump, or a brush pile. I mean, thoroughly work it all. Work the outsides, work the inside. Just work your outside first, and then start picking your way inside, and picking your way up shallower and shallower. But that's the kind of thing that I would do. I'd go in those pockets. The pockets this time of year are going to be an awesome place to find fish. Get back in those pockets with flats in the back, and most time those pockets are going to have isolated brush in them, or lay downs, or brush and stuff that's washed in and settled to the bottom. But back to those little pockets up there in the river is an awesome place. I can think of one in particular down close to Blue Springs on Beaver Lake. I've had some amazing days in. I've basically won the tournament in that one pocket down there. For some reason, it'll hold good fish if there's water in it. Summertime, if we hadn't had much rain and stuff, and they've dropped the lake way down, that little old pocket doesn't even have any water in it. But we've had enough rain this year that pocket has water in it, and it also has some rock mixed in. Not only does it have brush and lay downs, but it has some rock mixed in, and has one dock in it that they use when there's water in there. It sets on the ground during the summer most of the time, but yeah, that's what I'd fish up in the river. Yeah, getting on into the mid part of the lake, like Beaver Lake, for example, the mid part of the lake, you know, Horseshoe Bend to Rocky Branch area, I'd still start off with the buzz bait. Also up in the river, if they was short striking the buzz bait, I'd pick up a chatterbait or a spinnerbait, something that didn't go quite as, or wasn't just all the way on top. I would pick up that spinnerbait or chatterbait and work it, run it along the same things as I just got through talking about. I'd use it in some of the same places I just got through talking about throwing the buzz bait. I'd throw the spinnerbait and chatterbait, something that's subsurface, and if they was coming up there and short striking the buzz bait. But anyway, we'll say from Horseshoe Bend all the way up the White River and the War Eagle, that's the kind of places that I'd look to fish. Just as have Beaver Lake as an example. Now Horseshoe Bend to Rocky Branch area, I'd still have that buzz bait tied on, be working covering water. Still be kind of looking for the same kind of areas, flats with deep water close to them, flats with a quick drop off with a shelf, quick drop off, points, standing timber, brush piles, rock piles, bridges, riprap, that kind of thing. But up in that area, if I couldn't get the shallow bite going, I would change pretty quick. I'd probably start around the Prairie Creek area, so I could figure out what depth the fish are at pretty quick, because there's a lot of good creeks that comes in right there around the Prairie Creek area. I'd pick one of them creeks and I'd start on the point of that creek, and I'd work a little bit throwing the buzz bait, 10-15 minutes at max with the buzz bait. And then I'd put it down and I'd pick up crankbait. I'd rock crawler, Old Bill Norman crankbaits, Rapala DT, 6, 8, 10, whatever depth I was fishing, something like that. And one of those crankbaits I would tie on, I'd start throwing, and I'd be covering water, especially if there was some good 45-degree banks, rocky banks. I do better with the crankbait on rocky banks, which is on Beaver and most of these Ozark lakes. There's plenty of rocky banks to bounce that rock crawler and those other crankbaits off of. 15-20 minutes with a crankbait didn't do any good. I'd go over to the jig and start picking apart any cover that was there, rock outcroppings, just anything, bluff ends, just all that kind of stuff. But this time of year, I'm always going to have the buzzbait picked up first and covering water, and then go to the crankbait, and then go to a jig. I may go to a smaller jig, like some kind of a little peewee, small peewee type jig. They may not be hitting the big one. If they're not on the buzzbait, there's a good chance that they're not real active. So that smaller bait presentation is going to help you catch more fish. You're going to catch small fish and big fish, which is fine because it makes it more fun as long as you're catching something. But you will pick up the good keepers and big fish too on that smaller jig presentation. Now say I'm going to from the Rocky Branch area on up to the dam area, up to Indian Creek, and those kind of places up there. I'd start out with buzzbait early. It doesn't matter where I'm at in October, the buzzbait's going to be tied on. It's going to be working for the first 15, 20, 25 minutes, something like that. Points, bluff ends, little pockets. There's a couple of good banks up in that area that's right on the channel swing, and they're not very big. They're small pockets, but they're still pockets, and there'll be fish in them. I promise you. You just gotta figure out what they're biting. But those pockets is gonna have fish in them. And the points, especially points around channel swings, it's got the deeper water close to it, and especially if it's got a good flat right there on the point. It's a good flat point, 45-degree angle maybe, but 45 degrees to flat, and with deep water on it. I'm going to be fishing those. I'll have my buzzbait, and up there I'll have a tube tied on, because there's smallmouth, Kentuckies, and largemouth, and there's Kentuckies and smallmouth, largemouth all in the mid part of the lake. But I do better myself with the buzzbait and the jig and the crankbait there in the middle. But up there toward the dam, buzzbait, then hit them with the old tube, crankbait. I'll go. My second bait will be the tube, and then the third bait will be the crankbait, especially on good rocky banks. It doesn't matter what kind of rock. I don't care if it's BB size gravel all the way up to boulders. Throw the old crankbait on it. Now some of those banks and bluffs up there is going to be fairly deep toward the end, so you may need to go to a deeper bait, like a bigger Bill Norman. I like building the old Bill Norman baits. I still have a box full of them. Then I'll have my rock crawler, and then I'll have the Rapala, DT10s all the way to DT20s. It just depends how deep it is and how quick I need to get it down. But those are the kind of places I'd fish. A lot of rock, a lot of points, a lot of flats. Same thing for crappie. Those crappie are going to be moving up shallow too. Just find the brush and boat docks and stuff in the shallower water, and you'll find a pile of crappie as well. And this time of year, start making your way back in the longer coves and creek arms, because you never know if they're going to be on the end, or if they're going to be in the middle, or if they're all the way in the back already. Watch for shad. If you find the shad, and most time you're gonna find some schooling fish too. This time of year, they're gonna be chasing those shad and schooling. So wherever you find the shad at is more than likely where the bass is going to be at, where they're in the front, back, or in the middle. For your biggest population of shad, there's probably going to be shad in all three areas, but your biggest population will be in one area usually. And for that, I'm going to have a fluke tied on. My favorite color is the disco violet color. It's kind of a shad color. It's kind of a pearl white looking color. It's got some purple in it, and that is my favorite color of fluke. But I'll have that fluke tied on for to find those schooling fish. Comes up there busting those shad. Be firing that out there and twitching it through the schooling fish. Start off kind of a medium retrieve, and then speed it up, and then kind of kill it. And twitch, and stop, and real fast twitches. So even make it dart out of the water. I get a lot of bites sometimes making that fluke dart jump up out of the water and back in. It looks like a bait fish trying to escape, and I've caught a lot of fish doing that. But anyway, there's just some baits and some areas to throw it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop me a line down below, and I will promise you I will get back to you. Anyway, it's about time to get kids loaded up, and you have a blessed week. If you like my content, please hit like, share, and subscribe, and have a blessed weekend. Get out on the water, go watch some kids play ball. That's what I'm going to be doing all day tomorrow. Both grandsons has games tomorrow at the baseball fields, and I'm looking forward to that. And maybe I can get out and get some water time Sunday. We'll just have to see what time the oldest one, because Sunday will be their championship day. Just have to see what time he plays on championship Sunday, and have church early in the morning, and early service, and then baseball maybe early service, and then some fishing, then baseball, however it goes. Anyway, y'all have a great weekend. Get out, and I will see you guys on the water.